studying whilst others are on holiday is one of the biggest things that you can do for you, because it is, for me, the single biggest reasons why I am currently a medical student. Hey there, my name is KOKETSO, and I'm a medical student at the University of Free State. And those of you that have been following me for quite some time will know that I improved my results from getting 30s in grade 11 to getting 90s in matric. But there's one thing that we need to really look at in serious reality. It is the fact that studying during holidays is quite difficult. It is very difficult. It is not the easiest thing that you can do, because there are a lot of distractions that come with being at home and staying around during holidays. There are a lot of things that you could be doing with your time. So I don't blame you for not being able to focus or study as consistently or as constantly as you wish to during school holidays. And for that reason, the first tip, which is for me the most important tip that you need to keep in mind, is the fact that you should not apply a lot of pressure on yourself. Because other people, your age group, your age mates, not saying that you should compare yourself to others, but people are relaxing and you are working. So no matter how much work you put in, at the end of the day, you will be 1 step or 5 steps ahead of many people. So because you have only done 10 sessions, or you've only done 3 topics, does not mean that you're behind. You're actually ahead. You are 3 topics ahead of your teacher who'll be teaching those topics. So by the time your teacher teaches you that, you already understand, and you're basically trying to solidify the knowledge that you already have. So that means that you are actually ahead. So stop being so hard on yourself. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself to try and study every single hour of the day, because by the time school's open, I promise you, you will get burnt out an awful lot if you're going to keep on putting onto yourself the pressure of always wanting to be ahead. Calm down, calma, tranquilo, take it easy. And if you feel like, sharp, I'm studying is during holidays and I'm falling asleep, sleep. Because people that are your age group are doing God knows what. So sleep, take that nap. If you feel like, sharp, I should be studying, and a friend of mine says, Chomi, let's go somewhere. If you think that going somewhere is something you're gonna enjoy, you don't even have to choose, oh, should I study or should I go have fun? If you know you're going to have fun, go have fun. You will come back. You're literally working during holidays. You're working ahead of people. So stop punishing yourself. This is not a punishment. You're actually doing work voluntarily by yourself. So this shouldn't be a punishment in the first place. So if someone says, let's go buy pizza, go and buy pizza. Stop torturing yourself thinking that you're doing any good. You're not doing any good for anyone. You're doing this for yourself. So calm down. If you have to go out and go out and go there, you will come back and you'll study again, because you're studying during holidays. And on that note, what I want you to do now is to create a study timetable. Create a study plan that is not too restrictive, but something that is very accommodating. So for argument's sake, for me, currently my holiday study timetable, which I haven't started following because I chose to relax for the first few weeks, and I'm only going to start studying for now during holidays, maybe next week or by the time I'm done editing this video. So the way that I do it is, perhaps I'll wake up in the morning at 8, and after waking up at 8, I spend the first 2 hours of my day running errands or doing whatever I have to do around the house, eating. If I have to plan a video, I do that, and then at 10, I'll start studying, maybe study from 10 to 12, and then from 12 to 2, for those 2 hours, I'm going to do something fun. And then from 2 till 5, I know that I have to go to soccer practice. And then when I come back at 5, then I can go see my friends, or I can stay back at home and continue with watching episodes of The Resident or doing things like that. But basically what this shows is, sharp, there is time to study, but the time to study does not overshadow the time to relax and have fun, because this is a holiday. I'm supposed to be relaxing. So I'm setting a study timetable that is easy to follow, because the moment your study timetable is so unrealistically packed with you studying, that is where you start failing to follow it, because studying becomes too much of a project and less of something that you're doing voluntarily. And just as my favorite book says, by my favorite author Ali Abdaal, which I have right here, Feel Good Productivity, it speaks about ways of making sure that you study or you become productive in ways that make you feel good. Because when you enjoy something, you tend to do well in it. That is, if you love mathematics, the reason why you're doing well in maths is because you enjoy maths. And the moment you start doing maths, you don't feel like it's a project. You can go on for 4 hours without even realizing that you've been doing maths for the past 4 hours. So make sure that whatever you're doing, you're enjoying it. You're not just doing it because you have to. Find a way to enjoy it. Find a way to understand it and want to have fun with it. Now, as we've already spoken about setting a study timetable, the next thing that you want to do is you want to identify your weaknesses. Identify what your weaknesses are and set your priorities in terms of those weaknesses. What I mean is, for me, my weaknesses were maths, physics, and Afrikaans in grade 11. And when I got to grade 12, they were now my strengths. And that is because I was able to prioritize them during the holidays, say, okay, I'm going to study not only, but primarily maths, physics, and Afrikaans. I'm going to give these my time so that by the time I get to school, I understand Afrikaans a bit more. I learned how to speak Afrikaans during the holidays. I changed my phone to Afrikaans. There's a video on how to ace Afrikaans, or how I got a distinction Afrikaans, which is linked right there. And you can check that out if you want to see a very in-depth and in-scope thing of, or guide rather, of how I improved my Afrikaans marks from your 30s. Actually, there was a time I actually got 20 in Afrikaans to getting a distinction at the end of my matric year in Afrikaans. And having this priority list in place allows you to not only study maths and physics just because they're maths and physics. It allows you to study subjects that you know that you have to study them. Study subjects that you know that your priorities tell you that, bona, we need to give our focus to this. This is where it's critical. This is where ziyakhala, it's going down when it comes to business studies. So we have to give our time to business studies. It's going down when it comes to geography. So we have to give our time to geography. Not because it's maths and physics that you should give them that much attention. Yes, you can do that, sharp, but you can still do the same with any other subject. If you are a master at maths and physics, I see no reason in trying to go ahead in maths and physics for your matric year. So think about it wisely and set your priorities accordingly. Now, obviously, you're studying at home and it's during holidays, and the one thing that we need not to forget is the fact that your teacher is also on vacation doing God knows what. And there's an obvious need for someone to check your work, to review it, to tell you where you're wrong or right, someone to explain concepts to you when you do not understand them as much. And that is why I partnered with the sponsors of today's video, Upstudy. So what is Upstudy? Simply put, Upstudy is an AI-powered resource that helps you learn your content more effectively and efficiently. They also have a feature that helps you scan questions in chemistry, physics, maths, and biology. And it'll then give you an instant step-by-step solution that explains how exactly they got about to getting that answer. Upstudy is not only functional for mathematics, because as I've just said, I can also scan a question in perhaps chemistry and take this question, crop it in, put it into the Upstudy app, and in a split second and without having to do too much, Upstudy is then going to provide me with a solution that is worked out, explaining everything to me from the very basic first principle to make sure that I understand everything from the detailed explanation and the concept breakdown that I get from the AI tutor that I chat with. With Upstudy, I can get real-time feedback on my progress and even generate customized questions and quizzes to reinforce my learning. And these provide me with the personalized feedback and recommendations to help me fill knowledge gaps and improve my retention and overall understanding of what I just learned. Plus, with Upstudy's mobile app, I can learn on the go and stay on top of my work even when I'm not at my study desk. Upstudy has features such as a Google extension. It is also available on mobile, it's available on desktop, and this makes it absolutely portable and functional across all platforms and across all devices. So join a community of high-achieving students and stay ahead of the curve by clicking on the link that is in the description down below, and you will get instant access to Upstudy today. So whilst you do that, let's get back into the video. Now, the next tip is you want to set goals for yourself, because to be honest, there is nothing more catastrophic than not having goals in place, than not having direction. Because yes, you're trying to study during holidays, you're trying to move towards something, but if you don't know what you're moving towards, then why are you still moving, you know? So setting goals is something that is very important because it gives you direction, gives you purpose, allows you to know where you're going and how far you are to getting to where you are going. And it allows you to stay motivated. Because one of the things that I've said before, and I still stand by them, is the fact that discipline will take you places that motivation can't. So the moment you've run out of the motivation of, I want to study during holidays, and you start to feel like, okay, now this is tiring, I just want to relax, yes, I did say relax, but when you can see that, okay, now, when you can see that it's child, and you need to study, you have to study, then that is where the discipline has to kick in. That's why you need to know that I'm doing this because of this. Something very important that I have also written on my wall is I need to remember my why. The moment I decide to study instead of go to a party, why am I doing that? The moment I decide that I'm going to go to class instead of sitting down and sleeping, whatever, I know my why. So remembering your why is one of the most important things. But you can't have a why if you don't have a where I'm going. So your why is almost always a destination, you know? When you say, I want to study engineering, and you're now in matric, your why is studying engineering. That is your goal. That is your goal. That is where you're going. So setting goals is what makes this way easier to accomplish, and it makes it easier to continue being on track with it. But on that note of having goals, it is very important to realize that setting small, minute goals is the best thing you can do for yourself. Don't now just sit down here and say, okay, my ultimate goal is to be a doctor. There are so many steps that start from being a doctor. You're currently in grade 11, sharp. So the first thing you need to do is study during holidays. Okay, you're done with that. The next thing you need to do is term 1. Maybe set a goal. Your first maths test, you want to get over 80%. Perhaps you do it, perhaps you don't. If you don't, then maybe let's say you got 60. Then now you say, okay, I got 60, but for the next one, I want to get over 70 or over 75. It's something called a stepping stone. You can't just move from a 20% and then you're going to get 100 tomorrow. There's no way. These things are a work in progress. So set goals, set clear, attainable goals. That is so important. Your goal must be attainable. Don't wake up today when you get 10% in maths and you think that tomorrow you want to get into being the top maths learner in the country. This thing relies on steps, step by step. Set a small goal for yourself. After term 1, sharp, or let's say you got 4 distinctions. And now what is your goal? Your goal is for term 2, I want to get 5 distinctions, or I want to get 6. And you know that this is an attainable goal because you look at your distinctions. The distinction I didn't get is Afrikaans. So you know that next term you need to work on Afrikaans. I say this because I've applied it as well. In term 1 of grade 12, I got 5 distinctions. In term 2, I got 6 distinctions. In term 3, I got 7 distinctions. So it being a step by step by step is because in term 1, I couldn't get English and Afrikaans in geography. In term 2, I got English, but I couldn't get Afrikaans in geography. In term 3, I got English, but I got English and geography, but I couldn't get Afrikaans. And then in the final exams, I managed to get Afrikaans. So that is me tackling all of these things in small attainable steps. I can't just wake up today and say, I want to get 8 distinctions out of having gotten no distinction at all. So look at it like that and attain your goals step by step. And so thank you for watching this video. This has been KOKETSO, and I hope this video has been helpful for you. Let me know down in the comments what video you want to see next. Thank you to Upstudy for sponsoring this video, and if you want to see a video on how to study long hours without losing concentration, that video will be right here. And yeah, otherwise don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and peace.